Warm, warm greetings to everyone. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you all for your patience. We'll be starting another couple of minutes. Just some set of guidelines for all of you to follow. Please keep your videos on and always keep your audio muted. And we'll be starting another couple of minutes. Established since 1980, and we are conducting more than 50 different courses across various colleges, and we are training partners for various prestigious government organizations and across the top universities in South India. We are partnering with them, and we are conducting various courses in collaboration with all the top universities. Amat University is known as Academy of Maritime Education and Training. It is located in Chennai, and they have received the Best Maritime Institute Award from Ministry of Human Resource Development and Best Maritime Institute by Lloyd's Institute of Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. And Amit's seagoing courses is ranked as Grade 1 by the Government of India. So this is a brief introduction about both the institutions. And regarding this particular webinar, the main purpose, the main objective of the webinar is to bring in knowledge or bring in information to all the participants about various job opportunities and career opportunities which is available in the logistics and shipping. With that, I request you all to stand up for the Tamil Taiwal. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the first speaker of today, Sri Srinivasa Palani sir. He is the head of logistics and supply chain for fashion, sports, and lifestyle for Alfuten Retail Group. He was previously the senior manager of retail supply and process excellence, and previously was also the manager for Gulf Marketing Group in Dubai, and he was also working in Tata Consultancy Services in India, and he has rich experience in logistics and supply chain sector. He is experienced in operations and marketing activities in the logistics and supply chain. With this, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce the first speaker to all the participants today. Sir, the session is yours.
Hello, hi. Thanks, Joshua, for giving me a brief introduction about me. Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So, in spite of Joshua's introduction, let me quickly give you a brief background about myself. So, I have overall 17 years of experience in supply chain and logistics. So for all of your visibility, I started my career after my engineering degree completion. I started with the TVS Group in Chennai. So most of the aspirants you are aware of. So why am I specifying this company is, you need to understand, as you are stepping up into the higher education and you want to understand what is all about supply chain and logistics. Supply chain and logistics is nothing but you want to pick one item, might be from China. Nowadays, we are moving away from China, might be from United States of America, and you want to bring it via air or sea or through truck. You do the customs clearance in your destination, then you deliver the product at a right place, in a right quality, at the right time. So ultimately customer experience. So you buy the product for 100 rupees, you add 50 rupees as your product margin. So 150 rupees, in this maybe 30 rupees you spend for your transportation, marketing, finance, other activities. So ultimately 20 rupees is what you are going to put it in your pocket. So it is very simple to say, but this is nothing but supply chain and logistics. If we do this for one product or might be for 10 product, it is easy to say. But if you want to handle it in millions, there you need to have the rich supply chain exposure in terms of procurement, planning, logistics, what else? Returns, e-commerce, finance, IT, technology, everywhere. So the company which I have specified has given me an immense, tremendous hands-on experience. I was with scanners, drill bits, whatever you say. So I started my career as a mechanical engineer. Then afterwards, I felt that probably I need to upskill, I need to do some higher education, then I want to, build up my career. So that time I pursued my master's, MBA in global supply chain and logistics management. I did a specialization in logistics. Afterwards, I got a windows of opportunities across the world. So what I'm trying to tell you, there are lots of opportunities in the field of logistics. Okay, if you are interested in shipping line, you have hundreds and thousands of service providers who handles the shipping line. What do you mean by shipping line? Shipping line is the service providers. They are nothing but who initiates the shipment from the origin and they deliver it to the destination. So you have like hundreds of service providers like Maersk, Koninagel, DB Shankar, so many people. So there you find opportunities like a logistics executive. You might be starting as a management trainee, then you slowly build up your career and you get into the manager. Finally, you can become a subject matter of expert in shipping. So, but shipping is not the end of journey for logistics. You have n number of opportunities across FMCG, electronics, consulting industries, retailers. Take about my career shift. I started as a mechanical engineer. Finally, I'm there. I'm here in Dubai, heading the logistics and supply chain for the major retailer who handles the big brands. You might be aware of the big brands like IKEA, Zara for fashion. So we have like 800 store outlets and 100 wholesale customers across GCC, Gulf, across the Gulf countries like UAE, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, everywhere. So the key message, what I would like to tell you, supply chain and logistics is the major, I would say it's a talk of the scenario at this moment. Based upon your interest, you can go anywhere in upstream supply chain or downstream supply chain. When I say upstream, it means like a procurement, you do the planning, you do the forecasting, and the downstream supply chain. When I talk about downstream, it is nothing but logistics. You handle warehousing, you handle distribution, and the last mile delivery to the customers. When I say last mile delivery, it is from the warehouse, you pick up the goods, the orders raised by the customers or the stores, and you deliver it to the end place. So this is not picking up, you're all aware of. One flavor which I would love to add, currently, your logistics and supply chain is moving towards a digital disruption. I want to emphasize, if you miss the boat of digitalization, then you will miss your career. Be cautious that you need to update your technologies every day. For example, if I know most of the aspirants who are all the audience in this session, you are evaluating yourself whether you need to pursue in supply chain. Yes, if you are evaluating, I would definitely say, please keep up that. You need to upskill your higher studies with the digitalization. Okay, here, what do you mean by digitalization? Digitalization is nothing but you do the repetitive task or you do your analysis with the technology and products. For an example, if you are ordering a mobile phone, nowadays the customers are so savvy. They want to know each and every informations about the journey of that mobile phone, like when it was manufactured, from which country it was imported. Like that, there are so many, there's so many informations you want to know, which is covered in a technology called blockchain. Similarly, artificial intelligence, machine learning. You need to have these type of product knowledge in your higher studies. That is the key takeaway which I would love to hand over to you. Apart from that, I want to get into the next scenario, which is post-COVID. Yes, now there is a huge disruption after COVID impact. Due to this pandemic, everywhere there is a disruption, not only in supply chain, in finance, everything. The company is losing its revenue, the bottom line is dropping too much, but there are lots of opportunities. Now we are moving away from COVID. We are getting into the post-COVID scenarios. So in post-COVID scenarios, the corporate is expecting, the skills which are more of a resilient. That is a word called resilient supply chain. What do you mean by resilient supply chain? Resilient supply chain is nothing but I'm able to withstand the shock and I'm able to deliver. So how can you do this? You can do this with the help of proper technology. That is what I have mentioned to you. You need to have strong foundations in terms of supply chain, which are nothing but logistics, understanding the inventory, like what type of buffer you have to keep, then understanding the supply and demand matching. Apart from that, the technology plays a key role in post-COVID scenarios. Okay, when I say the technology is playing a key role, do you mean that the technology is going to take over human beings, intellectual human beings' job? No. Our role will be more of managing, it is more of monitoring and controlling the technology. Don't take it negatively. Technology is going to help our skills. It's going to upskill our journey in the career of supply chain. So these are the major drivers which is going to disrupt. And in terms of opportunities, to be very specific, you need to have your own unique selling point. You need to be out of your odds. You need to be very unique. For example, if somebody is very good at a blockchain technology, then a corporate will look at him. You can't be one among the odds. So you need to be specialized in your own way. So these are all the key inputs from my side. Now I just give it to the audience. If you have any queries, I can just answer you.
So thank you, sir. A couple of quick questions, sir. One is, can you told about technology, the involvement of technology. How important is the relevance of AI and kind of artificial intelligence in the field of logistics, sir?
All right. Okay, I can give a real-time example. A customer from Chennai, he's ordering a mobile phone from Flipkart. Okay, so Flipkart accepts the order and it delivers that order maybe in 2 to 3 days. That's not the end of the journey. What the role of artificial intelligence is? Artificial intelligence as a technology tracks the entire order pattern of the customer. For example, Joshua, you made like 10 different orders with Flipkart, maybe different products, might be a perfume, might be a mobile phone, maybe a jacket, trouser, whatever. So artificial intelligence understands the pattern of your ordering, maybe at what time you are ordering, then it will give you a more of insight about Joshua to the company. So based on that, the company might be you have ordered more of a black color mobile phone so many times. So the company can predict your taste in advance. That is through artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence gives the data visibility, the pattern of your buying. So they can come and promote maybe the aging products of mobile phone, which might be like 20,000 rupees. They just want to dispose of. Maybe they can target you as a customer and they will give you a promotional activities to you. Joshua, I can give the Samsung mobile for 10,000. where the current market price is 20,000, and you will be glad to buy it. So this is more of incremental selling. This is a clear example of artificial intelligence. How is it playing a role in logistics?
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Sir. So one more quick question to you, sir. So let us say somebody wants to start a business in logistics and supply chain. And do you think they have to be educated, or as you said, like you have completed your masters in logistics and supply chain? Do you think they have to be educated before they start a business in that particular field? How important is the role of education or skilling themselves before starting up a business?
Maybe I can put it in a very humorous way. That person doesn't want to be educated, but he needs to have an educated person maybe below him. He needs to have an educated team below him, because it is more of the survival of the fittest market. I will give you an example. Maybe it's a very good thing, like you want to start up, you want to develop a company, but a cautious tone. Amazon is sweeping over the entire world. In India, Flipkart and Amazon are the two major logistics providers. I'm talking about e-commerce scenarios. Now Reliance Jio is getting into the field. And of course, the government is promoting lots of startup and everything, but still, my opinion is you need to upskill yourself. You need to have your own education to understand the dynamics of logistics and supply chain. Logistics and supply chain is not about physical movement of the products. It is all about managing your cash flow. You need to understand, you need to have certain a financial acumen. You need to, you need to have an idea how much of inventory I should have. If you buy more and if you don't sell anything, then you will end up in a major cash tightness. Similarly, when the supply is only 100, but the demand is 500, you are missing the opportunity of 400. So ideally, I would say education plays a major role in terms of upskilling, and it will definitely assist you in initiating the startup.
Wonderful, sir. One last question to you, sir. Sir, can you tell us about how big role the logistics and shipping industry plays in the country where you are in currently, sir?
Okay. Logistics is I always say supply chain is the engine of any business. We are like, I'm a logistician. Okay. I'm proud of saying I'm a logistician. We are like a middleman in the football game, right? The middleman, what is his role? He gets the kick from both the direction, he gets the kick from the customer, and even he gets the kick from the vendors, but he is a key player. You are like a bridge between the sourcing and between the purchase, between the customer. So it's a fundamentally supply chain or logistics is the engine of any business, whatever you talk about.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Ahmed University and behalf of Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute to have you with us in this program. Thank you very much for spending your time and sharing your valuable thoughts about logistics and shipping, sir.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the best for the aspirants who are joining. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the next speaker of day 2, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Mishra. He is a graduated MA in Economics, MSc in Statistics, PhD in Economics, and he has more than 18 years of experience in teaching and research in India and abroad in logistics and supply chain management. He's done a specialization in econometrics, development economics, research methods, business economic, applied statistics, and logistics and shipping. He's awarded honorary DSc from US and University of Bodh Gaya. He's published more than 100 research papers and articles, both in national and international journals. It gives us immense pleasure to have you with us today, sir. The session is yours.
Hello. Sir, you are listening me? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, first of all, I want to congratulate all the faculties, staffs, member of the MET University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute for organizing such type of wonderful event on the logistic and shipping management. This topic is very pertinent in the era of globalization, and for the point of view of career development and for the point view of globalization. So I'm very happy to be the part of this webinar today. So today I will discuss on this topic. In this topic, I will discuss the issues, logistic and shipping management in brief, nature of job and required skill to excel in logistic and shipping management, prospects in logistic and shipping industry all over the world and India also, job opportunities and salary package. uh, I will discuss all those things. In spite of this I will also discuss the MBA prospects in AMET University also. So all those things I will discuss in this my lecture. So first of all, what is logistic and shipping management? Okay, so logistic and shipping management is the study from the chain is a study at the chain between the production location and consumption, and it is related to the planning, implementation and controlling for efficient and effective inflow and outflow of storage of goods and services, and related information between the point of origin means from the between the plant, and related informations between the point of origin and point of consumptions. So that is related to the management from the point of production to the consumption of the goods and services to the consumer. And finally, it is related to the management of goods and services, and it is also related to the inflow of goods and services to the production point, and from the production point to the consumer means it is related to the inflow of goods and services and outflow of goods and services also, in the case of from the point of origin to the consumption. So it is related to the handling of man's human resource, materials and machines, and the goods. That is also related to the handling of goods of the raw material inflow and outflow, semi-finished goods inflow and outflow, and final goods inflow and outflow. So we can note that in this we have seen that in this era the 30 to 35% cost is related to the transportation cost, and only the manufacturing cost is about 30% of a product. So 20% the cost of this price is related to the distribution cost. So that is very important, how to minimize the cost of distribution, how to minimize the cost of logistic, how to develop the good logistic system that will enable the access of the goods to all the places, to all the customer at the right price, at right time, at right quality, at right schedule to the appropriate customer for the maximization of the profit of the company, as well as developing the goodwill of the company, and it also as well as the maximization of customer satisfaction level. So all those things are very important. In this case, logistics and shipping management is very important branch of knowledge in the management. And we are seeing that in the era of globalization and international trade, we are focusing on the free movement of goods and services at the international level. The nature has not given all the goods and services at all the places of the world. So there is heterogeneous distribution of human resource, of raw material, of finished products, all those things at the global level. And therefore, it is required a developed logistic and shipping management to for the accessibility of product to all the places of world, for living, for increasing the consumption level, or increasing the living standard of the people with minimum cost. So in this way, the demand of logistic and shipping management is very high in the world level. The birth of shipping and logistic management is based on the comparative cost advantage. So the nature has not given all the things at all the places. Therefore, this supply chain management, logistic management, and shipping management becomes very important at the international level and also in the national level. So now we can discuss that is related to the management of storage, management of packaging, management of inventory, management of transportation, and management of information and control. All those things are very important in this logistic management. But now we are discussing what type of a skill are required to become a good logistic manager. That is a very important. If you want to pursue your qualification in the logistic management, you are interested to excel in the logistic management. So what type of qualifications, what type of skills and attitude you have to develop in yourself so that you can excellent manager at the global and the national level in your logistic companies. So first one is the adaptability. A logistic manager should have developed the adaptability. He may work in the North Pole, he may work in the South Pole. So some places are very cold, some places are very hot, some places are of moderate temperature, some places language is different, lifestyle is different, food style is different, language is different. So the such type of people who is adaptable in all those environment, in all those climate, can get success. In the comparison of India and China, in the comparison of India and China, we are seeing that Indian laborers are better than Chinese labor in the international market because they know good English. They have good communication English. In spite of this, they are more adaptable. They can adopt in any situation. So this is the competitive advantage of Indian labor over Chinese labor in the global market. So that is also very important. We are also seeing that in this era, the labor from the African countries are also going to get more adaptability in the developed countries also. So in spite of this, such type of people who is very honest and who has the business ethics, knowledge of business, who is the hard and a smart worker and proficient in the project management, how to make the project, how to build the project, how to minimize the cost of project, and how to handle the project, and how to implement and control the project. Such type of ability there should be in such type of courses. And in spite of this, they have to develop the ability to understand the financial statement, the costing, the budget, the standard costing, marketing strategy, HRM strategy, strategic planning, all those things they have to be developed in themselves. In spite of this, there should be the patience. He or she should have the high level of patience to work under the pressure, and they should have to manage the stress because they have to work in the different situations. In spite of this, the very important skill required is the effective problem solving skill and analytical mind. How what made he will make the he will face the many problems. So what are the reasons of problem? What are the constraints to maximize the objective? What are our objectives? How we can handle the problem? All those things we have to develop in analytical and in the reasoning way. That is the very important. In spite of this, there should be the excellent business communication skill. That is very important, and they should have the knowledge of multi-language. Suppose you are from India and you are working in the African countries, so you are going in some part of remote area of African countries, you have tried to understand the local language of that country also. So this is also important, and your language should be very communicative and very effective. He should also understand the procurement and e-business system because the demand of internet and e-business is increasing at the global level. In spite of this, he has the good technical understanding, the knowledge related to the production and operation management, like location of the plant, procurement, inventory, plant layout, all those things he should have the good knowledge. He should also have the knowledge about the computer efficiency very nicely. He should know how to handle the computer software. Like Excel knowledge is very important. And one is the software, that is the solver, that is the very important to solve the problem of logistic and shipping management. In this way, it can solve the problem of linear programming problem, assignment problem, transportation problem, port and CPM, inventory management, all those topics should he have the knowledge, to handle with the help of the software. Because if mans are more, origin places are more, destination of the supply are more, then at which place we should supply what quantity of product at minimum transportation cost, so that we can do the supply of product, we can fill the requirement of the customer at minimum cost. So these things are also important. In spite of this, he should have the good knowledge of global issues, geopolitics, global roots. What are the global roots in the, and what are the global culture? The global roots are important in the case of shipping managements. The route decreases the cost of transportation. So all those things are very important, and he should analyze, he or she should have the idea to analyze all those things with the help of software. So the mind should be very logical. If you want to do Excel in this logistic and supply management, you have excellent communication skill, knowledge of computer efficiency, technical knowledge, and basic knowledge of all the parts of the management. In spite of this, there should be the good brain, logical brain, and you should have the patience and stress, how to manage the stress, all those things in that situation. If you can work, so that if you are able to work in that situation, I confirm you that logistic and shipping management can give you a better career, can give you a bright career. So in spite of this, what are the prospects of logistic and shipping industry? Logistics and shipping management prospects increasing very fast, not at the international level, and it is also increasing at the continent level and at the national level. So in the international level, it is increasing due to the international business. When international business increase, it will be in the practice, it will increase. The role of India is less than 2% in international business. So we hope that in the future, the share of India will increase in the international business. As a result, the demand of logistic manager and shipping manager, so that is the very important in this way. While in the case of continent level, so in the airways is the good means of transportation, waterways, railways, roadways, that all are related to the short distance, medium distance, and long distance. So for the purpose of long distance, airways and waterways are important. Very long distance purpose, airways and waterways are important, while for the long distance, railways are important, roadways are also important. Also in the short run distance, roadways is important. So how to manage by the different way? So it is saying that in the, generally we can see that for the international level, the networking, the logistic management system has been developed on the waterways, and therefore shipping industry has become the very chance, the great bright chance for the development of this time and in the coming days also. So shipping is more important than other means of transportation at the international level. And we are seeing that bulk carrier organizations, freight organization, merchant navy, cruise ship, road transport and haulage, trade compliance, exhibition and project forwarding, administration and IT, and custom compliance. All those industries are developing very fast in this era. So we can say that the prospects of the logistic and shipping management is very high at the global level and at the national level also. Many so now in the concerning to the job opportunities and salary package of the professionals working in this logistic and supply chain management, we can discuss. It has the great bright opportunities of job in the public sector also, in the private sector also. So in the case of India, you can also get the job in railway, tourism, postal services, hospitality, retail, shipping, airways, roadways, manufacturing, and construction sector also. In spite of this, you can also get job in the public enterprises, like so many companies of government doing the production where you can get the good job. In spite of this, you can open your own company. While there is a good chance of opening own company in this field, because opening the companies related to the logistic and shipping management, the cost is very low in the comparison of other companies. So you can open the companies and you can become the job givers in the global and Indian economy. So that is also important. So you can get the job as a supply chain analyst, logistic analyst, consultant, customer service, production planner, master scheduler, sales order planner, logistic manager, cargo manager, purchasing manager, international logistics manager, inventory manager, supply chain manager, purchasing marine officer, deck engineer, and marine coordinator. So you have a lot chance of getting the job at the various positions that are available in the various companies of the world. There are many companies which provides the service and facilitate the job at the international level. So you can go to the Google and you can write that the company, the list of company providing the uh, jobs in the logistic and shipping management. So you can find many of companies and you can find the job there. You can send your CV, you can send your resume, and according to your ability they can give you a job. So there are different types of job. At the higher level management you can get the job, middle level management, lower level management, and executive level you can also get the job. So now the important is what will be the salary package. Your salary package depends on the nature of job, location of job, your educational qualification, your attitude, your skill, and your experience, and the job position. All those things are very important in the concerning to the salary in the field of logistic and shipping management. So if you get the job in the USA, Australia, Europe, Japan, so how to get the job there? So that is the very important. If you want to get the job in the very developed countries, in the developed countries, so you have to make your communication skill very strong. You have to develop your analytical skill very strong. You have the knowledge of all the branches of management in brief, but your knowledge should be very clear. In spite of this, you have to read the French. French and German are also very important, because after English, French is spoken in many countries of the world. So you should develop you should increase the knowledge of French and German also if you want to get your job in the developed country. So their salary is very bright. And in spite of this, you can also get a job in the South America, Africa, Asia, and India also. Asia and India also. But in the India, if you get the salary in the multinational company, that will be very high. And if you get the job in the Africa, you can also get good salary, but companies should be multinational. And South America is very far away from India, but some people work also working in this country. So it has great bright job opportunities in India and also in the abroad in this field. So all those fields I have discussed to you, right? Retailing, tourism, transportation, hospitality, shipping, construction, manufacturing, all those places you can get a good job in this area. And if you settle in this job, your experience will increase, your salary will also increase, and your mind will be very cool while doing the work because you have no tension like the marketing in this field. So what certificate that is required for getting this job? Certificate courses, diploma courses, UG, BSc or BBA courses. So generally it has been seen that at the India level, if you are the graduate in the logistic and shipping management, the initial salary is from 1.5 lakh to 3 lakh at the entry level. But after post graduation, if you entry in this field, then your salary may be about 2, like the doing the course MBA and PGDM, you can get 4 to 6 lakh at the entry level. And the highest salary depends on your skill. If you have developed a skill, so first of all, after getting the job after MBA, 1 or 2 years you should do the hard work. You should develop your attitude. You should develop the knowledge how to do the work perfectly. You should understand the nature of job and how to do the job. All those things you should develop what I have told to you. And then the highest package at the international level about the 40 lakh, 50 lakh per annum. So all those things depend on your experience, your expertise, your skill, your attitude. All those things are very important while getting the job. If you get the international level job, your reputation will also be high. Under your system, many people will work under your guidance. So you have to manage, you have to handle the people, you have to handle the company, you have to chalk out the strategy and plan for the development of country. How company, how you can grow the company, how you can grow the accessibility of company in the different parts of world through opening the new branches at the new places, so you can develop this. Now we can also discuss about the MBA in the Ahmed University. So I was thinking about the Ahmed University when I found this opportunity to give the lecture. So I thought that I should study the contents and syllabus of this university. Really, this university contents are good or not? So I found that the contents and syllabus of MAT University is as per the requirement of industry. I also did the idea about the teaching methodology to the students and to the faculties with the case study and found that they focus on theoretical but more focus on practical and skill oriented knowledge. They also try to develop and coordinate between attitude, skill, and knowledge. They're thinking that more knowledge is important, but a skill is more important. So they give the good skill development and attitude development to the case study. Their study is based on project work and industrial exposure. The student go to the industries and do their project work under the guidance of the good logistic managers in different countries. They also get the stipend and get the industrial exposure very well. As a result, the employability in students, the employability in learners increases, their attitude becomes positive, a skill also develops and knowledge also develops, and they become the good logistic and shipping manager. So we have also seen experienced faculties. They hire the experienced faculties from academia and industry. So there is the balance of academia and industry, and also focus on the research related to all the branches of knowledge, particularly in the logistic and shipping management. The physical facilities is also excellent. The exposure of students is excellent. And now concerning to the placement, they have the good industry networking at India level and global level. So they provide the placement facilities in the international market also, like the Saudi Arabia, like the developed countries also, African countries and India also. So uh, after knowing this, I became very, very happy that MAT University is working very nice for the development of students, for developing the budding managers, for developing the good managers through developing the employability and the skill for getting the good career in the national and international market. So finally I can say that if you have good, if you want to develop good communication skill, if you are hard worker, if you have patience, working under patience, and you can manage the stress very well, and your mind is analytical, or you can develop your mind analytical, that is based on reasoning, I confirm that you can get the good careers in national and international market as a logistic and and shipping management professionals. So now at this last, I thanks to the organizing committee of this webinar, of this event. I thanks all the member and all the staffs, faculties, and Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, HOD, faculty members, and the staffs of MAT University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute for doing such type of good works for the development of logistic and shipping management. So I hope that they will work with the high passion and with dedication for the development of, for the generating of good human resource that is required in the industry at national and international level. So finally, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you very much, sir, for a very you have covered almost all the areas from all the job opportunities which are available in the logistics sector. What could be the salary packages? What could be the future of logistics and supply chain industry? So on behalf of myself, Tati and Amity University, we would like to thank you for coming and spending your time with us and enriching all the participants about the particular industry, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It now gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the next speaker of today, joining us from Dubai, Sri Shankar Subramaniam sir. He's an international speaker, trainer, and he has completed his masters in UK, and he has done his. He has 25 years of experience in the logistics and shipping industry. He has completed many certifications in the particular field. He's also a Six Sigma certified trainer. He's a lead assessor of ISO 9002 by Lloyd's Registered Quality Assurance, a professional in logistics and supply chain and leadership, accredited trainer for supply chain and logistics domain by CLIT International. He's member of the International Charter and Shipbroker from United Kingdom, a charter member of International Logistics and Transport, again from United Kingdom, founder member of Emirates Supply Chain Forum Dubai, and has worked in various companies such as National Association of Freight and Logistics, Gulf Ship Chandlers, LLC, UAE. It gives me great pleasure to have you with us today evening, sir.
Thank you. Good evening to all of you, and thank you to my keynote speakers who have done a fantastic job of introducing this topic so nicely to the students. And I wish you all a very good day. First of all, let me thank all the participants that in these tough times, you have taken a wise decision of attending a webinar, selecting your career, and you are weighing all the pros and cons before you join these courses or your field of excellence. One thing I can assure you as a trained professional, I've been in the industry for last 27 years in UAE, Middle East, Africa, Asia, and during my experience of last 30 odd years in the field of logistics and supply chain, there is no dull moments. Opportunity always knocks at you. It's how you approach the opportunity, how much you are calm and composed, how you can take risk, and most importantly, I say the whole industry depends on one parameter, that is I can do attitude. You always needs to have an attitude of I can do. Logistics is nothing but anybody can do it. But you should have the guts, you should have the feel that I can do. Secondly, the most important factor is the most used words in the future going to be the last mile deliveries, skill development, artificial intelligence, IoT. All this means that the world is moving towards a new era of technologically advanced logistics, technologically advanced supply chain, technologically advanced education. Gone are the days where we are looking for knowledge. The pace of knowledge securing is over. Now the knowledge has to be converted into skills. I'll give you a very simple example. Uh, in the participants, I'm sure in most of us in our childhood, we must have been using cycle, the bicycle. Yeah. So once you learn a bicycle and you are able to start, and after a few minutes, you will get balanced and you move on. So if you have any knowledge, it's very important that that knowledge has to be converted into a skill. And how do you do that? The best example is a cycle. Once you are a cyclist, you will always be a cyclist. However, even if it is you are using the cycling after 10 years, 15 years, you're not in touch. But the moment you get back into that few minutes, you will get okay. So that is because when we learned the skill, we learned the art of cycling, we learned it as a skill and it stays with us. Same goes with the driving the car or driving license. So all you need to do in life is to convert whatever you are learning, the knowledge, into a skill. And skill is what stays with you, and you can always upgrade your skills. Yeah. Today, if somebody says that I'm very enriched with knowledge, these knowledge can be easily found in Google. You go ahead and search for it. You get information for anything and everything. Now, what is telemedicine? Today, you are not taught, before you go approach a doctor, you do the basic research, you know what are the consequences of the disease, you try to identify the symptoms, and then you go to a specialist just to make sure that what you are understanding is correct or not. So the transformation which has happened in the world is basic information is now no more important. It is the information which is converted into action in the form of skill is what it stays. Since most of you are going to start your career in the field of freight and logistics, supply chain, I would always request you to understand this business of freight and logistics. There is a very simple concept. Whenever someone has a desire to have a product or a services sitting in his living room comforts, he wants to order something. So someone should have a desire, and the moment the desire is there, the first thing he looks at is the cost, how much it cost, how can I bring it, and when can I have it. These are the three informations. Now these three small information in logistics words, we call it as pre-shipment, shipment, and post-shipment. So these are the three buzzwords which you should know if you need to know a right logistics. That is pre-shipment, anything related to a shipment from the stage of desire, LPO, converting an LPO into an order, finding the right mode of transport, identifying the right Incoterms, finding the right mode of payment. You will understand what are the challenges of documentation, which mode of transport you have to do it. So those factors will come under pre-shipment. Once you have the pre-shipment information, you will decide the mode of transport, the type of services required, and the destination transit time, how long it is going to take it to reach to the destination. So this is the next important thing which you need to know. Then the shipment is once you are selected air, sea, land, that's a mode of transport. So the challenges of documentation, the challenges of transit time, you reach the destination. Once it is reached the destination, you have customs clearance, you have taxes to pay, you have delivery commitments. Once you come all do that, it's a post shipment thing. So to understand logistics, these three things are very important. So in order for you to gather information, try to gather your information in the process of these three buzzwords. Second most important thing is time. In logistics, the time management is much different from the regular time management. If someone says I reach the office at 9:30, all the day, every time. That is punctuality. Whereas in logistics, the time management to be understood in a different way. Reaching at the right time, at the right place, at the right cost. Yeah. So in order to, for you to reach the right place, you should select the right mode of transport. It should be economically viable and with the right documentation. So once the shipment reaches the destination, it should be ready for collection. And the person who has ordered, he should be able to collect it and feel the product. So that's the requirement. So the word right product, right is very important in terms of logistics. So the time management in logistics works on this. Now the third factor is, in order to do logistics, what are the qualifications required? Like as Joshua introduced about me, I have started my career uh, 30 years back in Mumbai with a freight company called DHL. And I moved on with 8 to 10 companies in different verticals, which includes aluminum logistics, which include heavy metals. Then I moved into ship channeling, then into conventional third-party logistics, freight forwarding and logistics, project cargo, uh, you name it. So I have worked in different verticals: cold chain, supermarket, retail chain, pharma logistics. So all these are the mechanism of doing is the similar way. The challenges are the documentation which you will do may differ. The type of mode of transport which you select may be different, and the application to reach the goal is different. Yeah. So so this is what you need to understand when you want to do select about the right verticals. Now, in my journey of 30 years, what I understood as far as this industry is concerned, once you have the right skill means when you get a document, you should know what are the important things I should check in a document. If I have the eye for the right things, if I have the understanding of what it means, I've done the job. You don't need a great English to communicate. Because if you want to ask a shipping company, when will my cargo arrive? If you can give the correct bill of lading number, correct voyage number, and the container number, within seconds you get the information. To know these three things, you don't need a great English, but you should know what is the right thing from the bill of lading. You should ask the shipping company so that you get the answer. Now with the technology, all these things have become more easy by you have something called track and trace. You have something called clear visibility, blockchains, artificial intelligence, IoT. Now, the, at time of COVID, the most challenging factor every industry is facing is what is the new norm? What is the expectation of the customer going to be post COVID? Yeah, I have the honor and the privilege to work in one of the most dynamic organization in Dubai called the National Association of Freight and Logistics, which is some sort of a controlling body in the freight and logistic industry. In this last 6 months of time, we have seen in UAE, the government has taken an initiative to ensure that there is undisputed supply of foodstuff, uninterrupted supply of foodstuff. In order to ensure that, they have made sure all the regulations are followed, but at the same time, no interruption comes in terms of supply of food. So all the supermarkets, all the pharmacies, everything was well equipped to handle heavy loads of inbound shipments and to deliver to the last mile without any hesitation. That was the main goal the government has set for them. Food sufficiency, medicines, basic requirements are fulfilled. So the last 6 months, in the first 3 months, we were going through the lockdown mode. We were going through all the challenges which any other country faced during the COVID times. But the last 3 months, we have opened up completely. The life here is as good as regular. But the business has not taken up to the regular standard. Why? It's not that the business is not happening or the business is not going to happen. No. The expectations of the customer has changed. Now customer would like to order everything and anything at his comfort on through an e-platform. So are you ready to understand the customer requirement based on the e-logistics or e-supply chain? So today everything is online or it's through the e-commerce. To understand these challenges, these courses will help you out. So I want you to understand the background first, that the industry is evolving to a better level where the job opportunities are going to be more. You will no more working hard, you will be working smart. The productivity levels will be much higher compared to the previous generations. You will be working with intelligence and you will be supported ably by the technology. So that's the change which you will see in the future. So it's only a transition phase that you will find things are going in a different direction. So that's some confidence which I'd like to give you, because Dubai is nothing but a logistic hub. Now, if you take the history of the world's top cities, New York, Mumbai, Brazil, Chennai, Bombay, if you Japan, Tokyo, Rotterdam, any part of the world, these are the, if you take any top 10 cities in the world, all these cities are known because of, or known or become popular because of their logistic proximity. All these countries, all these cities are the logistic hub. Today, if the port of Chennai or the port of Mumbai does not work, the entire supply chain, entire business of any of the country will be on standstill. So that's the importance of logistics. And I can assure you, to all of you, that this industry is here to stay. As long as human existence is there, the freight and logistics will stay back. So you can be sure that growth and prospects for this industry is unlimited and it's ever. Okay, now I will come back to the scope of the business, of the industry. Previously, logistics and supply chain was named as one of the supporting industry, or it was always considered as a operational activity. But in the last 5 years, with the technology advancements and increase of e-commerce, logistics has become a mainstream industry. Today, there is no boardroom without a supply chain director sitting in it. A supply chain manager, a supply chain executive decides what product, where to sell and when to sell, how to sell. All that decisions and involvement of logistics and supply chain professional is important. Today, you can have the best of product in the world, best of services in the world. But if you do not have a proper logistic and supply chain support, you cannot exist. Yeah. So that is the importance of this industry. When it comes to education in this industry, it is my passion that I wanted to learn more. I wanted to get trained well. So all my courses which I pursued post my graduation were all related to work and related to the interest I want to enter. So when I'm acquiring all these qualifications, I was never looking at academic success. Rather, I was looking at the skill element of it. So if your course which you are selecting with the university, if it has a blend of practical and case studies, you are good enough. Because the other things, certificate from which university, recognitions, all are secondary situations. What you need to know, in a 5 minutes of interview, are you able to win the confidence of the customer or the interviewer that you are the right person? So if you can win that, your first step is passed. Doing a job, you will have all the tools and techniques available. Like as the professor said, if you have a basic and a skill of Excel, you can maneuver any logistic report. In terms of documentation, to do a documentation, if you have a basic English with an applicable mind and a good attitude, you can get through with your documentations. In terms of communicating with people, you need a limited English, but what happens is you need to use the right words and you have to ask the right question so that people understand your question and answer you in the right way. Yeah? So these are the basic things. So the qualification is for you to understand and for you to get recognized. So do not be on the rat race of acquiring many qualification just to nice to have it in the visiting cards. Even I'll tell you, these days people do not even have a visiting cards. It's a code. So if you have so many degrees, you cannot put it there. But people will not be judging you by the number of degrees, but the skill you have in communicating, understanding, and translating the business is what is important. So your university, if it's having a good case studies, they have good material reference. If you get an industry exposure, that is what is important. If I would say today, if you are looking for a job and if someone is ready to offer you an internship, even if it is no pay, even if it's a no pay, and if you get an exposure to work in a company for a few days or a few months, that is a big skill. That will add your confidence. That will give you more knowledge and power for you to succeed in the job. So I encourage you all to look in for internship with companies when you are studying. Encourage from the universities, try to speak to the industries people so that you know what is happening in the reality in the industry. Try to gather information about this industry in advanced countries, because what is happening in Singapore, 6 months downtime, it will happen in Chennai. If there is something happening in Amazon fulfillment center, 6 months down the line, it will happen in fulfillment center in Chennai, or it will happen in Coimbatore. So the technology is going to come down to each and every part of the world. So my advice for all of you would be is to select the right course, give a lot of importance for the practical knowledge, understand the industry, try to understand different industry, how a pharma industry works, how a retail industry works, how the healthcare industry works, what are the challenges the shipping industry faces, what are the challenges airlines are facing it. So if you can understand these things and put your knowledge which you learn from the university, you are a good blend of excellent future managers. Yeah. So with, I also would like you to, if you have few minutes, Joshua, I have enough time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to share with you all a small presentation. It won't take much time. I'll give you a few slides. This was a presentation I've given it to the International Chamber of Commerce in Dubai. If you look at this, you can see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, these are the new norms in the future. Forbes, the Fortune 500 company, says 75% of the company the company which is existing in today's world will disappear from the current space by 2025. That means there are new sets of companies going to come into the world. 50% of the future company is still not started. That means the companies which require the high advancement of e-commerce and technology still have not decided what type of people, what type of qualifications are required. Okay, so there is a big scope. 2 billion jobs going to disappear by 2030 from coal, power, transport, repairing, majority industries, which means the redundant regular industries, which was working on semi-automatic mode or manual operations, will no more exist in future. 85% of the jobs in 2030 still not born. Education and skill set not yet decided. This is been spoken by the CEO of Dell. Then adopt technology, understand customers, find touch points. Networking is oxygen. Today, if a person want to excel in his job, and if he doesn't have the networking skill, he has lost the battle. Networking is going to be like oxygen. Without networking, without communicating, without part of the social media, without doing part of the LinkedIn, you are no more going to be required in the industry. So networking is going to be like an oxygen for you. And if you see the types of people, there are 3 types of people. Somebody is called as ocean. Ocean is highly qualified people, the people with the high degrees of qualifications. Secondly, you will have a type of people which is called marshy lake, which is like little bit of everything. They are not master of anything, but they know something of everything. They do survive. Well, these are people who dig well on your own. That means they go for very, very accurate information. They go for deep knowledge, theoretical people, academicians, all those people comes under the well category. So these are basically, so you need to find where you fit with it. And there are 3 types of mentality. This is something which I wanted you all to understand. There are 3 types of mentality in people. One is called hunter mentality. Now, if you look at a hunter, when he goes for hunting, his only aim is to hit the bird or hit the target. So he goes with a full focus till he succeeds. He never stops it. So if you are a hunter, if you are aiming for a career in logistics, you work on your skills, work on your attitude, work on your mental stress levels, build up networks, you will reach your goal very easily. So you should, if you have a hunter mentality. Planter is one, someone who puts the seeds, wait for the rain to come, pray to God everything goes well, and wait for the tree to from the root it come up to a plant and plant to a tree. So that's the planter members. A farmer is the one who goes by the books, putting the seed and waiting for it. Then the season crops it, make the crop, and they give it to the end user to further proceed. So the mentality of a hunter or a planter or a farmer, this is something which is very, very relevant for you to, when you are selecting the career, selecting the job, or selecting the industry. So you see where you fit into it. So if you can adopt some of these skills into your education programs, that will be great for you to understand this business.
So thank you very much, sir. Just a couple of quick questions to you, sir. Sir, we have a question from one of the participants, Vignesh Manivanan.
Yeah.
The question to you is, other than doing a PG diploma course or a professional course, can we do short-term certification course in logistics management?
Yes.
Would that be accepted?
Yes, because as far as the industry is concerned, they look at your adaptability skills in terms of IT, computer literacy, and the theoretical knowledge about the documentation knowledge, all those things. So that can come even from a short-term courses. But when you are doing a short-term course, you should understand the industry where you are going to work. Accordingly, you have to gear up with the supporting informations. Like if you are working in a pharma industry, you should give a lot of eye for medical restrictions, government restrictions, and all that. Yeah, so it's fine what course you select.
Sir, in spite of your busy schedule, thank you for joining us and spending a valuable time and giving very useful inputs to all the participants here. On behalf of our institutions, both Ahmed University and TATI, and all the participants, we would like to thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best to the participants and students. I'm sure you'll do well. Thank you.
It now gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the next guest speaker of day 2, Dr. Anjay Kumar Mishra. He has done his doctorate in project management, associate professor at School of Engineering. He has been a keynote speaker at various colleges, United Technical College, Institute of Engineering, Lumine Engineering and Management Science College. He has received various awards, 2 Young Scientist Awards in 2019 from IAAR HIES Excellence Award, Best Young Teacher Award from International Council for Research, International Research Award in 2019, RULA International Research Award, presented in more than 10 international conferences and 5 national conferences. It gives us great pleasure to have you with us at this moment, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste and good evening to everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you to share, because my master's was in production operation management. So from production operation management, I have shifted my career in project management. During that my study, I felt that supply chain management is basically a project. So I started to think as a project, because every supply chain is different and the competition is at supply chain level. So we all are in VUCA world. We all are existing in a VUCA world. VUCA world means, we all are in a volatile world. We all are in uncertainty. We all are in complexity, and we all are ambiguous in all the situation. So it is said that we are in VUCA world, and if you are in VUCA world, what happens? There is nothing permanent except change. So try to love the change, as earlier speakers were saying about adaptability. So it's all about change. How good you are in changing yourself, how good you are in adjusting yourself, that only ensure your success in the industry. So we welcome you, but with a good note that if you are ready to change yourself, then only we can welcome you. Otherwise, it's very difficult to survive as well. So as other speaker was saying that I can do attitude must be there. So if you have I can do attitude, you can do anything over here in supply chain management or in logistic and shipping management. See, logistic and shipping management seems like throwing a stone in a calm pond, but this stone can make a wave in your pond. As you are seeing in the picture, I have just thrown one stone and there is vibration everywhere. So supply chain management or logistic and shipping management is having equal importance, that it can bring the vibration throughout the system, throughout the ecosystem of the business. So if a ecosystem of a business is going to be vibrated, you can feel how much important this subject is having in the area. But besides going further, I would like to say where this is the things. For any entrepreneur ecosystems, we need 5 things. No matter in which field you are, no matter in which field of management you are, if you can do any of the 5 things, or you can do these 5 things, you will success over there. Like if you can identify the need correctly. If you can identify the need correctly, you can take the lead. If you have correct need, if you can identify the correct need of your customer, you can create a pipeline of 100 promising ideas. But all those promising ideas might not be validated. So conduct a pilot study, validate those ideas, then go for commercial launch up, go for ramp up, and you can go through entrepreneurship after this commercial launch up, and continuous improvement, Kaizen, must be adopted in any cycle of business. So if you want to create entrepreneur ecosystem where the success of a manager lies, for that you have to adopt these 5 steps. For adopting those 5 steps, there are 2 things. One, existing; another, what future would be there. At existing, you have old assumptions. At existings, we can share experience. With this experience, you can maintain yourself. You can maintain yourself at the industry level. But if you want to take a hike, if you want to take the growth, because success depends upon 2 things, stability plus agility. Stability means maintaining it. So whatever we teach as a teacher, whatever we teach, that will help you to maintain yourself in the industry. But for promoting yourself at the level of success, you must take a hike. You must be agile. You must take the concept of agile strategy, agile supply chain management, for which 100% disruption is required, 100% change is required. Future projection could come only through the imaginations. As he was saying that 50% companies are not there in the market, who will take the lead role after 2030. Same way, are you able to go and imagine what would happen in future, and are you ready to tackle yourself? If you are ready, then you are success in any field. It does not matter in one field, but you can success in any field. Wherever I will add few skills, then I will come where the job scope is there for supply chain management. So few skills you need. And if you have skills, see, earlier we used to focus on knowledge. Knowledge used to be given first priority. Then you used to give the second priority of skill. Then you give the third priority of attitude. So we used to follow KSA, knowledge, skill, and attitude. A people who is having good knowledge and even poor skill and poor attitude, we used to tolerate in the organization. Right now, if you have poor attitude, no matter how much skill you are having, you will be thrown within a second. You will be taken into garbage within a second. So it's very important to develop your attitude at first level, then skill. Then at the last, knowledge is also important. It's not that knowledge is not important, but because skill would function in one setting, if the setting would be changed, then what skill is required, that need to be researched. For that point of view, knowledge is needed. That's why short-term trainings are very good for skill, but along with the short-term trainings, short-term knowledge, short-term trainings of skill, you should know some knowledge as well, because we are in VUCA world. So all the moments we are changing, and for adopting the change, you should have some sort of theoretical background as well. For that points of view, it's better to take courses, academic courses, along with the skill focused. But academic courses where there is no skill, that is not needed. Because in one ask, in one ask, Google can give you anything. So anything you can get, but for asking that, you need one attitude, you need one skill, and you need one level of knowledge. that need to be given through this academic curriculum. That's why academic degrees are also very important, along with that skills. So all the times what you have to do, you have to encourage dialogues between right people at right time about right issues. All about supply chain management or whatever management it is. We do only things like we dialogue between the right people at right time on key issues. So are you able of doing that? If not, you cannot go in 100 industry and learn there the 100 things. But if you go through academic program, 100 industry would be brought with the help of case study in your one college where you can learn 100 issues, how to solve it. That's why also it is important. So communicate with your stakeholders, guide collaboration with key stakeholders, as network is oxygen. Really network is oxygen. So that comes from collaboration, partnering organization. The best designs are found to be manufactured through these virtual organizations by this partnering. So global partnering is taking place. You should have to adjust in that. Use judgment to make progress with complex project challenge. Projects are always changing. In that complexity, you have to assure adaptability. That's why develop a range of power source and use to resolve issues. For those type of skill, you should have to go through some courses. Negotiate success for stakeholders based on concept of value. It should be value based. It should be value based because supply chain management always talks about value addition. Right now, the one more value has been added, that sustainability. The value of sustainability means flow of energy has been discussed. See, in all the books that is written for Asian continents, over there if you go, you will not find these things about the energy flow and all. So right now, the courses through which you are trying to go, there it's very important to talk about the energy flow. So if you can minimize the energy, if you can balance the energy, you can reduce the cost, you can reduce the resources, then definitely you will be success. So how much value you are adding? What is the value you are adding at to which point? That makes a lot of sense. So supply chain management broadly deals with value management, and everything depends upon value. What earth we allocate for something, that is the value of the business. And value of a business distinguishes between a success and failure of a business. Every businessman can be success and failure if he come to know how to manage those value at that particular times. So that skills need to be acquired in yourself. For that, new supply chain projects are moving at international level of project. For that, you have to go through the academic survey of the articles as well. If you don't come across these academic courses, you will not be able to go for survey of academic articles. See, academic articles are also done based on the industrial experience. So they just articulate the things, how the professionals are doing the practice. So it's very important to link the industry performance with academic reforms. That's why also you should go through some courses where academic articles need to be taught. How can you do the literature review? That will be one way of updating yourself every day, because you are in book award, so you have to update all the times. If you keep your money in a bank, we cannot guarantee that your money will increase tomorrow. But if you sleep today and woke up tomorrow, definitely one technology will be added. So in this volatility of technology change, it's very important to have a habit of academic articles survey. Challenges existing project managements: time, cost, quality, safety, ethics are the 5 indicators that distinguish a project is success or failure. Are you able to do your job on time? Are you able to do your job within the cost, right cost? Quality, are you able to manage the quality? Safety, is your work in a safe way? And ethics, are you doing your job ethically okay? Because everything is transparent. So being ethical is also very important. So you can say we manage 2-3 things, that is broadly that eliminate waste, remove variability, and improve throughput. So production time, how can you reduce your production time? How can you reduce your shipment time? That is your first job. Second, how can you make the standardization process? So how can you remove variability, and how can you eliminate the waste? If you can manage these 3 things, your 5 indicators will met, and you will assure your success in your supply chain job. Wish you the best for that. So hard to plan in uncertain, complex environment, need to respond to diverse stakeholders, need for projects to experiment to find solutions. All the times we have to do some sort of experiments to find the solution. For that, these are the 6 job, or these are the 6 approaches you have to take all the points. 6 learning, I can say. These are the basic 6 learning which you might have to acquire through the course. If you can acquire these 6 learning, then you are most welcome in the industry. Look beyond results at project and process impact. See, what we have got the habit to give the input and see the output. No, give some time and see the effectiveness and impacts as well. Right now, there is no relation of input and output only. It's to have a relation of after that also, that is effectiveness and impact. So think at least of impact levels. Learn through experimentation to adopt projects. Use project process evaluation criteria. All the times keep evaluating your process criteria, how you are performing, what is expected, what are the specifications made, specifications that you can make from quality function deployment. You collect voice of your customer, then you make a design. Based on that design, you give one specifications. Are you able to achieve your specifications? So assess partners, who are your partners, and multidisciplinary approach. Right now, supply chain management or supply chain and shipping management is not one subject. It's combination of several subjects. If you go in aviation, you have to take care of aviation load calculation. If you go in road transport, you have to take Excel and road calculations, this transportation capacity and all. If you go in shipping, at that time you have to take the calculations of their loads as well. So calculating load itself of a moving body is a very big challenge if you are not well versed. For that points of view also, you have to improve your skills. So use a multidisciplinary approach, use both self and independent evaluations. All the time you have to evaluate yourself. So if you can do that, you can be innovative. Problem of incremental thinking rather than radical approach is needed in you. So through this degree, I expect students who are passing through this degree might have incremental thinking approach in himself, tendency to look at available resources and value current positions. Using resourcefulness are very important in these professions. Also use new information to confirm existing beliefs. Need to use tactics to generate creative ideas for projects to transfer the business. How you can transfer your projects in the form of business, in operative business, that need to be innovated in yourself, that need to be cultivated in yourself. So mental time travel, that is science fiction. Mental time travel, mentally how you are traveling. I can do approach, as sir was saying that I can do approach should be there. How you use it? Use example from other area of business. See, supply chain management is not having its own area only. So you should be ready to adopt the principles, theory, and applications from other areas as well. Like everybody was talking about artificial intelligence. In artificial intelligence, what happens? A machine started to think like you. That is need of the industry 4. Industry 4 needs that. So it's basically for computer science, but you can use it. Similarly, mathematical model. Manoj sir was talking regarding mathematical modeling. Mathematical modeling optimization theories are there in advanced statistics that you have started to use here. So economics model you can use here. You can use of water resource modeling for taking your decisions in ship regarding the ship movements and all. You can take the climatic predictions just before leaving your vehicles and all. So these all things you can use risk and disasters models. So any models of any science you can use anywhere, but it should be effectively used. So how you can go along the status quo, all the time you cannot change, but with respect to time, you have to change. So for that also look at different use applied from other areas. Aim is to avoid cognitive bias towards current thinking and knowledge. You have to adopt the things from hard skill to soft skill. So it should be a very good blend of hard and soft skill, then only you can be a good supply chain or logistic manager. Hard skill, technically you could have regarding several models. You can have good skill of planning. You can have some sort of knowledge of accounting, mathematics and all. These are your hard skill. This you can learn very easily. But soft skill, which is somehow difficult to be learned, like politics of the organization, politics of the industry, negotiation skill, convincing skill. For that, you have to be adaptive. And during this course, while you pass through 3 semesters or 4 semester courses, during that period, you get a habit of doing the same things. So 100 industry, if 100 professors are coming, he might have handled 100 industry. So he will be sharing those experience in a way that will develop your soft skill as well. So it should be a blended of hard skill and software and soft skill. Very important. These skills are intellectually, critical analysis and judgment must be there with you. Vision and imagination power should be there with you. Strategic perspectives, long-term planning you can do. So either you have to do the things differently or do the different things. That does not make sense. But you have to prove that I'm doing better than others or do better than others. Either prove or do. That is only a strategy. So long-term strategy to take care of. Managerial competencies like resource management, engaging communication, empowering, developing and achieving the things. And right now the difference between machine and human is only this one, emotional. Machine and human, like artificial intelligence, can produce a human who is equal to me. He can think better than me, maybe in some situations. Only the things I'm emotional, but that people who is machine is not emotional. So emotionality makes the difference between a machine and man. This quality must be in you also: self-awareness, emotional resilience, intuitiveness, and interpersonal sensitiveness, influence, motivation, and consequences must be there in you. So sometimes I say that E equal to MC square, where E is excellence, which depends upon motivation and square of your commitment. So if you are committed to come in this profession, you will success. But your commitment, if it is half, then your excellence reduced to 25%. And no industry is going to welcome any 25% achievers giving above 1 lakh salary, because minimum salary we expect in this sector is 1 lakh minimum. So if you have to earn minimum 1 lakhs, definitely you have to show your commitment at 100%. So these are some leading styles that you need: either supportive, coaching, delegating, or directing. Which leadership style you use in what situations? Regarding that, you must have a skill. So you all know all these 4 skills, but which skill to apply in which situation, that is very important. Skills to be developed in yourself. So flexible leadership, say entrepreneur, someone who is self-confident and willing to act. A strategic mind concept, who has a strategic mind concept and ability to attack others. If you have these abilities, you can go for entrepreneurship. In next phase, you can go for enabling leaders also, coach and develop, connective via networks. Then you can be enabling leaders. You can be architects, a strategic view, prepared to make big challenge. So if you come through academic courses, you can find yourself at architects. But would you like to go at entrepreneurship? Then go for some sort of trainings that could be useful. That could be useful as well. But if you want to perform the complete architect's academic degree should not be replaced with any short-term trainings that need to be pioneered. So see, we have business chemistry everywhere in supply chain. You will find one business chemistry where at pioneer level you have some sort of questions. Either you can be at pioneer level, like taking risk and new ideas, see the big picture. At pioneers, what happens? You will see the big picture and take the risk. You can come at guardian level, where you find yourself a stable, order and learner from the past. You can have an experienced database. You can be a driver, like challenges and getting results, see issues in right and wrong, So you can be driver of the industry as well. You can be leader, and you can be integrators as well, like team working together. Everyone achieve more. So getting people together and like getting arrangements. So this is business chemistry. It need to be adopted in yourself. And if you can adopt this business chemistry, you can assure your success anywhere. So it's good to have the blending of these 4 levels of knowledge, 4 levels of skill in yourself. Then only your success confirms in the industry. Leaderships are developing. From personalized also you can develop some sort of skills in yourself. From networks you can develop some sort of knowledge as well. Contextualize also you can do through professional development, and authenticated you can do through the teaching institution, through the academic institutions. That's why I prefer to go with this academic institutions or universities degrees, where you have to have personalized also, because university is network of many people. So that network would also give you a lot of energy. Through that network also you can get a lot of energy. But the university must be professional. If the university is not professional, then don't go for it. If it's just only academic degree, don't take it. It's piece of paper, throw into sea. It will not be burden for you as well. So 4 level of advancements are there in you. That is, some people could be new. Rule-based solution that takes. If you are new, if you are advanced beginner, then trial and error experience you can do. If you are competent, prioritize procedures for decisions making. If you are proficient, then understand context and reflect analytical. And very few people are experts who can take the intuitive and rational based on experience decisions. So at the top, if you want to be expert, you have to get this intuitive and rational, which comes from experience. For that, you must have industrial exposure. But for a starting or for reaching at the level of expert, you have to be beginner, you have to be at entry level. These 2 steps you have to cross in your college or in your institution. So from third, competent making, you can come in industry and you can struggle. If you come as novice in the industry will not digest you. They will take you, but they will throw you also. So your 2 level must be developed in your academic institution. So check your college is going to provide these 2 things or not before taking the admission. So we are not suggesting anything to do. We are just suggesting you to confirm your university whether the skills which we are needing are providing or not. Yes, maybe different institutions have different this skill development process. So how you are going to convert your IQ into EQ to organize the lead, how the teaching pedagogy and teaching methodology has been adopted. So check who are your professor, how much industrial experience they are having. If they are having industrial experience, then it's okay to run with the institution. If they are just only teacher, no matter it's 30-year experience, but it's not useful. Even if it's 30 years teaching experience, it's not useful for this type of professional course. Please make sure before entering into the institutions. Then if the teachers are having industrial experience either as a consultant or a practitioner, then they can make you a good blend of the 2 things, and you can be a useful assets for the society, and society would accept you. So this I would not throw you over here. At last, what I would like to say that in your country only you are having 3 level of government. Besides that, there is industry, there is NGO, INGO, and besides that there is a big international markets. Everywhere you could have good chances of job. At your federal government, central level government, you can have good chances of job because procurement officers are there, and most of the people who have been caught by anti-corruption, they are basically making the mistakes in this procurement phase only. So if you have good knowledge of procurement, you will be welcome in all of your public entities as well. So at central government level, there are several jobs. At province level, you are also having some sort of job. At local level governments also, you are getting job. NGO, INGO and other sectors are also providing you job. In the industry, you can have the job. International market is a big market for supply chain management. So everywhere you have good opportunities of job. The matters remains, are you skilled enough to tackle the situations? Then only. These are some of the job, and all of the senior professors and senior professionals have already explained regarding this. So I don't like to waste your time, but you would have this all jobs over there. Thank you very much. So any questions so far? Some people were raising the hands. I have not made
Yes,
attention
sir.
to them.
We have a couple of
Because
questions, sir. It is from one of the participant, Chaitanya Vardhan. So first question is, sir, what are the countries, which are the countries which are best to work in the logistics or supply chain industry according to your opinion, sir?
what are the country which is best for getting this
Yeah,
job?
yes, sir. It is best for working in
All
the
the
logistics
cities
and
who are yes, yes. All the cities where there is production and there is sea, then the seaway started. So it depends upon which mode of transportation you are used to of doing. If you are expert in shipping, if you are ready to use this mode of ship, then you can see where the seas are there and commercial cities are there. In that city, you can adopt it very easily. If you go, if you go there and if you see that I am interested in aviation, what are the cities which is having maximum number of airports? In that country you can adopt. If you want to go through the road mode of transportation through road, you can see what are the landlocked countries where there is no sea. There most of the time you will find to be used as a road. You can use those cities. So particularly this country is the best or this country is not good, we cannot say. As Dubai sir was saying is hub, really Dubai is a hub, but Mumbai is also not less, because there also import exports are taking place. But every city which is emerging, they need some sort of materials and resource from outside. There you can search some sort of job. And at least as a fourth people of this supply chain management, you can start your consultancy anywhere. Even if the city is low, you can start your job as procurement experts. You can start your job as e-procurator. You can do your job as consultant of e-procurement, tendering. This way you can create the job wherever you want to do. But particularly see in which area you have interest of supply chain. Supply chain is a big one. If you want to go in energy supply chain, see where maximum energy is found to be produced. If you are interested in nuclear energy supply chain, see for that. So right now supply chain management is not about movement of money and movement of materials and movement of vehicles. It's big thing. That's why you can create the scope where you want based on your needs and wants. You have to do. If you want to be the supply chain experts of agriculture, you have to see in India also a lot of value is to be added in agriculture. There also you can create, but only some people who does not know the philosophy of supply chain management, and they just restrict in very small part of it. That's why, see, the time you select your elective subject, that makes a lot of sense. What are elective subjects over there? If there is not available, you can demand with the university, please create this elective subject. They can make one model and they can give you that only with the collaboration of industry. This way you can do. See, in all the industry right now, they are keeping HAZOP analyst in the supply chain, hazard and operability analyst, or they are keeping risk managers from supply chain background. So several jobs are there. Only the things how you can adopt the situations. That is a big question. And adopting is not a big deal if your attitude is along with your will. But sometime what happens, by looking at the glamour of the industry you enter, but you will not success. Like air hostess, air hostess, most of the air hostess are joining the industry and leaving the industry, and very few are tolerating it. And those who are tolerating, later on they are doing this supply chain course because their communication is very good and they are being the manager. So in few company I saw, what was your career, starting career? I was air hostess, I was flight steward. How did you come over here? I did my master's in supply chain management and I joined this industry. Oh, very good. This way you get chances to interact.
Sir, thank you very much for elaborating the different positions which are available in the logistics and shipping, and for answering the questions and your valuable input, sir. It was very informative. So, on behalf of Amit University and Tati, we would like to thank you, and on behalf of all the participants, we would like to appreciate you for spending your valuable time with us this evening, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So to all the wonderful participants here, so we are coming to the end of day 2 today. We have been sharing a lot of valuable insights about the logistics and shipping industry. What are the various job opportunities which are available in various companies? What could be the salary packages? What are some of the hubs of the logistics industry throughout the world? And how each logistics company work. So we have been giving various inputs and various suggestions to all of you. So we have today we had many people to write to us about certain questions which they wanted to know. So at any point of time, if any of you have any questions, feel free to write to us. So we have sent you the invitation link to to join this particular webinar. So you can write to the same mail ID if you have any questions, if you want. So today we have had at least more than 6 people writing to us, and on behalf of those participants, I have asked those questions. So if you want to ask any questions, feel free to write to us, and we will ask those questions on behalf of you. So I would like to thank all the participants for participating with us in this webinar. So before we wind up, I would like to invite all of you to raise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
To all the participants, before you leave, kindly fill up the feedback forms. Your feedback means a lot to us, and based on your feedback, we always take it into consideration as to what is needed and how to modify. The feedback link is shared with all of you in the chat box. Please take it doesn't take more than 10 seconds, and as I told you, your feedback means a lot to us, and it helps us improve our session. So once again, on behalf of Tati and Amit University, I would like to thank you all for participating. Looking forward to see you all tomorrow evening, same time, and have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you one and all. Have a great day.